Goodness.
Waiting for...
Oh, that's one of your favorites, huh?
I have probably made hundreds of these.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there we are.
Okay.
Yay, you're there.
Okay, we're there. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, here we are for another quilt talk. Okay, we'll have to.
Oh, there we are. Yay, you're there.
Okay, we're there. Good morning.
Okay. Technical difficulties this morning, but we're here.
Okay, Gail, what are we talking about today?
We're going to talk patterns today. Some of our favorites and things that I brought. Actually, the majority I brought I would consider for beginners. So,
Got my notes.
and I'll let Michelle's got her notes to say what we're talking about.
We want to make sure we know what we're talking about.
Yeah, you talk about flying by the seat of your pants. Oh well. Oh well. So anyway, so where shall we start?
I have 5 things that were on the list when Jeannie asked what people wanted to know about.
Okay, perfect.
So I'll tell you all, and we can go into depth on them. Good places to buy quilt patterns, reading quilt patterns, best quilt patterns for a beginner, difficult kits. I included that with the pattern part because kits have patterns and sometimes people get confused. And then just as a random question, I figured there was a bunch of miscellaneous. So I kind of want to throw in one of the miscellaneous questions in there each month. How to properly square up a quilt.
Perfect. And square up blocks and stuff like that. Perfect.
Well, yeah, that was another question too, but I think those two go hand in hand. And I thought,
that'd be
let's
great.
cover this. I think it'd be
Absolutely.
really nice.
Okay.
So, good places to buy quilt patterns. Where do you buy your quilt patterns?
Well, actually the newest ones I've actually bought from Jeannie, and quilt shows. I've bought them at quilt shows. So that's pretty much where, and ones, I mean, my go-to patterns I have had for years. So.
And that's me too.
I mean,
if I'm at a quilt show and I pass by, I see a pattern I like, I'm buying it. It's mine.
Doesn't mean I've made them all.
No.
I mean, I have baskets and baskets full of patterns, and so I can choose.
I do too, and it does. And some designers I know, well, when I'm online and stuff, I could not find my one pattern from the pattern basket that I really liked. It's this one. I'll show you. Jeannie had the quilt hanging in here forever, but I made extra and I made a table runner.
Yeah, I love that.
So I don't know. Can you see that?
It's adorable, yes.
So, sorry. It's the pumpkin one.
Yeah, I love
So
that
I just
pattern.
took one strip, made this.
This is perfect for a table runner.
I know. For my coffee table, it's kind of long and kind of wide, and it was perfect. So this one from the pattern basket.
Right.
And I know
Jeannie had that pattern.
she did have the pattern, so she can
Yes.
get the pattern basket patterns. And I found they're very easy. They're very user friendly.
Yes.
When you go in, it tells you all the right fabric, the right amount of fabrics.
Yes, it's written well.
It's written very well. It shows, let's see. I have another pattern right here that kind of shows, I believe. Let's see. This is from, let's see, can you see that?
Yep.
That's Thimble Blossoms. I like this one because it's repetitive. There's really only 2 blocks, the house and the tulips, and it's just repeated. So that's really easy. I like to do some of those because I can cut all my fabrics. I can have them sitting in a little stack next to my machine, and I can chain piece.
Right.
But on these, I can't show you the whole pattern, of course, but it shows.
Right. Shows you how to cut.
It doesn't show it on. Oh, it's super easy because that's all it is.
Right.
That's
we can't,
it.
Yeah, we're not allowed to do that because these patterns are copyrighted. So.
Yes. So, but there's not a whole bunch in here.
Right.
But some patterns, they show you which way to press.
Right.
And there's little arrows in there.
Right.
Is that in your patterns? Does it show?
I don't know.
Because I'd like to
if it has
see.
the arrows in it that shows which way to
Because
press.
sometimes people go, what is that? What are those arrows for?
Right.
You know, what does that mean? And it's because these pattern designers are trying to help you to get it right. See, this doesn't either.
This doesn't either. Normally,
press toward the dark.
you press toward the dark, but
unless
I
it's
just
bunch up on you, then
sometimes
you're gonna.
you know sometimes I think once you and actually this does have some arrows where it shows which way to press.
This
on
one
certain
really
things.
does.
Yeah.
So
But you can't really show the pattern. So
no, but I can show one page because
Yes.
it's not going to do you a whole bunch of good. But like right here, it's showing you to put strips together, and there's little arrows. Can they see that?
Yeah.
Can we zoom in at all?
maybe if you lift it up closer to the camera, maybe.
That's too easy. Sorry,
This.
that's too easy. Okay, because like on these arrows up here, their arrows are going this way.
It shows you how to press.
Shows you pressing to the dark, and then the arrows there are showing press to the dark again. So you'll find patterns that have arrows and stuff on them like
Right.
that. That's to help you.
Yes.
So you have to read your patterns.
Yeah, read your patterns. And then I don't know. I have found these, and Jeannie I think ordered some of these, and it's by
Yeah, who is
Atkins Designs.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh. I mean, you're going to see, I've had this pattern forever. It's from Ben Franklin, which is no longer in existence. So, I mean, that's how old that pattern is. But these patterns are super, I mean, even this one might be a little bit like intermediate beginner. You know, this one is definitely beginner friendly. It's called Yellow Brick Road. And oh my gosh,
So-
I have made hundreds of these.
So in this quilt, a lot of people. Yeah, can we see it? Please?
Yeah, I have one.
A lot of people, when they're just starting out, and this is mostly for beginners, I believe.
Yes.
Because when you're just starting out, you'll look at a quilt and go, "Oh my gosh, that's too much. I cannot
no.
make that."
Super simple.
Yeah, but if you look at them, you can really tell what the block is in these
Yes.
patterns. Now, this one you can't really tell. So, can you please share with us?
Okay,
where's the
so-
actual block?
There's 3 different blocks in this, and this is fat quarter friendly. So lap size takes 12 fat quarters, and then your stuff for your borders. I always add an inner border, and I never go by fabric requirements because my stash is so extensive, and I never buy less than 2 yards of anything. So I have plenty of fabric.
Yes.
So-
but for a beginner who's just starting out, and
It's
and,
fat quarter friendly.
Yes,
So
and-
you only need 12 fat quarters. And so I'll show you different blocks
Yes.
in this one. Okay, so here's one block right here. Can you see that? Right here.
yes.
These 4.
Yes.
There's one block.
So now this looks like you took, what is that, 5-6 inches, and then you sewed that together.
It's all
and
done
then
in
you have a
strips.
strip.
It's all strips of
Yes.
6.5
Oh,
and
6.5.
6.5 and 3.5 inch strips. And they're all sewn together and then cut apart again.
So you just sewed a whole big old long strip together,
Yes.
and then
The
you
fat,
cut,
yeah, they're
and then you cut, well, the fat quarters, yes.
Yes.
So it's 18 inches. So and then you just cut them down to the size you
Yeah, and
need.
you're sewing so many 3.5 inch strips together, and then a 3.5 inch strips with a 6.5 inch strip.
So if you had a strip of this, you probably got 3 of these, at least, at 18 inches. I'm just saying, say if it comes out this way, that fabric, you'd have one of the strips would be the dark, and then one would be the light. And then you would be cutting this also in 3.5 inch. So you'd have basically, I'll say this is dark, and then that's light. So when you come up, you can just cut them to the size you need it.
Yeah,
6
and the
a half.
pattern is
Or
super.
how big is this? Is it?
They're
an
9.5.
8-inch block?
9.5 inch blocks.
And then you just have to put them together. And I see you have no matching seams.
Well,
and that's always
it
easy.
is when you start putting your rows
Well,
together.
here.
But you can, and then here's another block. I mean, it's kind of, here's another block right here. So
So that's
So-
only 3 pieces.
that's 3 pieces.
How easy is that?
Oh, it is just super simple.
Oh, and then that one must be the last
There's the
block
other
then.
block. See, and this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. So there's 3 different blocks in this quilt.
Oh, so look, there's 3, 4, and 5 pieces.
Yes, and there's, I mean,
And then it's just laid out throughout the whole quilt. So if
Yeah.
we turn the quilt over,
you can,
we can look at it and go, look, here's one of our blocks
right.
that have, well, this one, where is this one?
So you can see it right here.
Okay, so this is one with 5 pieces.
That's a 5-piece
Yeah.
one. So, and this is another 5-piece one. But
It
and
threw my eye off.
yeah, because
of
the
this.
way I know
But that is really nice.
it's so much
it
fun.
looks, yeah, it looks like it could be very difficult.
Yes, and it's super super simple.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
Oh, this is so pretty. And your colors are really pretty.
what's really fun about. I mean, I have a design wall. I know not everybody has design walls, but before I had one, I had a spare bedroom with a queen size bed, and I laid everything out on the bed
Yeah.
or the floor. Now I'm too dang old to lay things on the
Well,
floor.
you can get down, but you know,
It's harder
getting
to
back
get-
up. Is
yeah,
the thing.
I know. But this is super. This, I'm telling you, really, I can cut this out probably in an hour. I can sew it in an hour and a half. So I'm telling you, this is one of the fastest, and I've made, like I said, I've made hundreds.
Just because you've done it.
Walked out of the room.
Oh.
A little bubble came up.
Oh.
Let's see if it,
Walked out of the room.
Oh.
A little bubble came up.
Oh.
let's see if it catches up. Okay, we're live again.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, I just
Technical
hiccuped.
difficulties.
You know.
Technical difficulties. I don't know where we
I think
stopped.
I think that
We're talking about the borders.
the borders
Yeah.
and how you can take a pattern
Yeah.
and you can make it your own.
Yeah.
The designers love to see it. If you happen to see them, like at, if they're at one of the shows
Shows or
and they're in
something,
their
yeah.
booth, and you say, "Oh, I made your pattern," and they love that, and then you say, "But I added a border
Right.
and I did this or that,"
Right.
and they're like, "Oh, what did you do? Let me see," and they'll want to see pictures, so they will like that.
And the nice thing about this pattern also, and Jeannie, I think, ordered a few of these. So this is so great. Also, it has requirements for, I think
That
it's
is
got
nice.
requirements for baby, lap, twin, full, queen, and a king.
Not all patterns
No, not
have
all
that.
patterns do. And
So
I
that's
like
nice.
to look for patterns that have yardage requirement for different sizes. And like I said, this is every single one of my daughter's friends got these lap quilts for their showers. They got queen size quilts for wedding gifts, and all their babies have baby quilts. Now a
Oh.
lot of these babies are in college, but
Yeah. Well, that's
I know now I have to, and some kids got for graduation, but not everybody.
right. I mean, come on, there are limits.
I know.
No.
But that's just really
All the
that
ones
is
we care
super
about.
super beginner
Yes.
friendly. And also, I don't know if you guys do like the 3-yard quilts. 3-yard quilts
They
are
are-
very beginner friendly,
And they're very, very,
Very-
popular.
and they're very fast.
Yes. And another thing to go back to that, you said it was all fat quarter friendly.
This is very
How
fast.
many times you come in, like A1,
Oh, and
for
you buy
example,
a packet
and,
of fat
and you
quarters.
look and there's fat quarters and you're like, ooh, that's eye candy. It's so beautiful. And you just want to look at it and touch it and you want to make a quilt out of it. That is what is really nice about that pattern.
Yeah.
I have one that's kind of similar
Yeah.
to that I brought, and it's an exploding 9 patch. And I brought this.
Oh, this is a fun one. Yes.
Yeah, because I did the
Let me
same
move
thing
this.
with that.
Let me move this quilt. Okay.
Do you want me to take it?
Thank you.
And this, I just took, it was a 9 patch. And here's all the colors for fall. And I had a 5-inch
that's
squares. So I just did that. And then you put it together. And then you just cut and twist the block around.
Right.
So like this would have been, and that right
Right.
there would have been in the dark. So that's super easy.
Super easy.
And I don't even have a pattern for that. You can make it whatever size you want if you have the
Right.
5-inch squares.
Right.
That's what I did. And I just had I found what kind of sort of matched it. And again, another table runner. And then the quilting on it too was really easy. It was a
it's
quilt
just-
as you go.
Yeah.
So I just did that and then I put the blocks together later. So it doesn't have to be,
No, it's
sorry, I'm getting the quilting, you know me.
Exactly.
I love the quilting. I love the piecing, but I love the quilting part. But that's another pattern that's very,
quick,
very quick,
user
and
friendly.
easy, and user friendly. And then like that.
Yeah, that.
My sister made some placemats, and she took what are the little
The charms.
ones? The charm pack.
Yeah, the 2.5 inch squares.
Yep, and she put them together. She made them work. She has like colors in it, and then she just did straight line quilting just around.
That's
the
perfect.
seams.
It's
Yeah.
I mean, and that's too. I mean, a lot of people don't know what to do with their scraps. 2.5 inch squares are perfect
Right.
for and to do placemats. And if you've got scraps left over, that's perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah, but like
I'm sorry to mean to cut.
Oh no, you're fine.
But there's a three.
Three
Yeah.
3-yard quilts are amazing.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't like about these books is she has you do single binding, which I don't like. So
Yeah.
So you actually, if you want to do exactly like the pattern, it's 3 yards.
And why don't you like single?
Well, I just think the double fold
What-
gives it more stability. Don't you?
Yeah, the double fold. Now we're talking about the binding is like
Yes.
when you do your binding and you have your strip of fabric.
Yeah.
If you have just take your piece of fabric,
And you just have
I'll
one.
just show you
yeah.
this, and you fold it once, or it just goes over. Let me see. Say this is just a little teeny piece of fabric. So you take one piece, you stick it on the back, and then you roll it over to the front. There's
Yeah.
one single layer of fabric.
Yeah.
We don't like
I don't
that.
like that.
Because the thing is, on these quilts, yes, they get a lot of use, but it's like
The edge.
this is the part that gets
the most. wear.
most wear.
Yes.
Yes. So if you take your fabric and you fold it, and then you're doing your binding, and
then
you put it
so
on,
you've got double fold.
you have
yeah.
double folds.
Yeah. And that's the only thing I don't like about these. And I always add more rows. So like I said, if you want to do exactly what the lap to me is too small, but if you ever,
It just depends.
It just depends on
who
what
they're
you,
for.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and this is a super simple one in here. I make a lot of these. I'll show you. I'll just do this really quick. And it's just like a square. It's a 10-inch square. And then it's strip pieced 5.5 inch strips sewn together to make
Yeah.
a 4-patch.
And the directions are super,
super simple. And it's written well. Same with that other pattern I showed you.
Mm-hmm. So back to that binding again.
Yes.
You can buy that bias binding
Yes, you
in
can.
packages.
Yes.
And a majority of it is a
It's
single
single fold,
fold.
yes.
But you can find it where it's double fold. You
Yes.
have to look for it.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's not the norm, really.
No. And this 3-yard quilts, it's another one of my go-to because I love fabric. And so you can
I know, me too. It's
So you can
eye
just
candy.
you can just see. I mean, here's the block. It's just
Yeah, it's a
it's
piece
just
of
a,
fabric.
it's just a piece
Yeah.
of fabric. So if you have focal fabric that you love, like I think like Tafe or Tula Pink, I mean, because you can fussy cut Tula's big patterns and put that in this
Yeah,
block,
yeah,
which
and they're
I
very
think
bold.
is really
Yeah.
cool. And then, like I said, it's just a 10-inch block, and it's just
There it is right.
here. It is right here's the other one. It's just a 4-patch.
Yeah, with a 4-patch. That's really.
So that's super, super simple.
Mm-hmm.
I make the borders bigger. I like bigger borders. I think she calls for like a 3-inch. I make them 5.5 to go with that matches this.
Yep. And when that happens, when you put on a bigger border, you're not going to be able to follow the directions because
No.
just because it's wider does mean it gets
It's
longer
longer.
too. Because
Right.
when you come, her border stops right here. That means instead of coming to here, this one's going to have to come all the way out to there
So I,
instead.
so like I said, I mean,
measure.
you have to measure.
Mhm.
And I just, like I said, I buy lots of fabric, so I don't worry about.
Yeah, I know, and it's all part of the journey, and we're
it is.
quilting because we love it.
Yeah. But
And you
Yeah,
just
it
learn
is.
something new, and yeah, you just
really, any of the 3-yard fabric books are wonderful because you get, and they are really, you get I think there's 8 patterns. There's 8 different patterns in these books.
And didn't she recently come out
She
with
did at
5 yards?
Quilt
Now-
Market was this last week.
Yeah, and I seen
5-yard
something
quilts.
about it, but are they a little more challenging
Yes, they are.
than the 3
They
yards? Okay, I thought
They
so.
look,
But probably not too bad
No,
because
they are.
seem
Yeah,
very easy.
And I don't know. It's she and her daughter, I believe, that own this company, and they really. It's like I said. The pattern is very well written. You can understand it. She does, I think, tell you which way to press, and and it's all pretty much all strip piece.
So they must have a lot of people who practice or do demos, or what do you call that? When she says, okay, here, I have a new pattern, I want you to make it for me and tell me if
testers?
Yes,
testers.
testers.
I'm sure they have testers, yeah.
Yes, because now that is what will happen. What is one of our questions?
Yeah, there's a lot of...
Reading the best quilt pattern for a beginner. Okay, we're going over that. Difficult kits.
Oh,
and patterns. The thing is, I know a lot of people, and they're very good. There's, some awesome designers. Even the designers that we have, very well-known designers will sell their things on Etsy. They'll have an Etsy shop, and we know their patterns are tried and true. But there's a lot of people who are just starting, or some people who don't really have a lot of testers.
No.
And those are the ones where I have found that even I'm struggle because I've seen a pattern that I really, really like. I didn't know quite who it was.
Right.
I'd never heard the name before. And I looked, but I went into their Etsy shop and I liked their patterns. I liked the quilts. I liked the way it looked. And then I would start doing that. I bought it and I would start doing it, and I'm going, okay, they didn't tell me this.
Right.
Because, for example, I'll show you on an applique pattern what you need to do. If I can find it. I brought this pattern. This is Jill Lilly. She's really good. She's a little more experienced. I think she's got a lot more piecing in it.
That's not a beginner quilt.
No. No, because there's applique on it and stuff.
Yes.
But what you want to know, I want to show you just a piece of the applique. Because you'll get the pattern, and then you'll get drawings on an applique.
For the applique.
So here's, for instance, and it's the actual size. You need to know how this goes, because if you see how this is coming around this way with that little leaf, that is exactly how it is on her pattern. This, and you're going to be tracing your fabrics. Somewhere, you need to flip that over.
Yes.
And do all your tracing. And some patterns do not tell you
You
that.
to flip it. Right.
So you need to be very aware of your patterns, whether that fabric needs to be flipped or not. And a lot of you guys know that from your scanning cuts.
True.
Because when you cut that out, they'll say, you go into that mode and you flip it before you cut it, so that when you flip it over, it matches your patterns on there. So,
well, and then the first couple that I showed you, just strip pieced, and then you get into things like half square triangles. I love half square triangles.
I love half square triangles.
And you brought
a little sample of how to do a half square triangle.
Yeah.
And what I brought is, I swear, I have got a ton of rulers.
Oh, me too.
And I went to a retreat, and I'm like, I brought my own rulers. I use Omni grids, and I use Creative Grids. And they were using a block lock. Block lock ruler.
Jeannie can order those.
You can
too,
see
by
it says
the way.
block lock. Yeah, she's getting into the block locks. And what it is it's literally got a groove in the back of the ruler. And they've got flying geese one. So someone had the flying geese one. I'm like, oh, all right, okay, well, let me just use it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need this ruler because, and I'm not trying to sell this, you guys. You have the rulers that are your favorite. Use those. But what this does is, here's my square, and I have the seams pressed to one side. Well, when you go to cut this, and you got to make sure you cut it on the right, because this way, it's gonna, because you want your seam to lay in that groove. This way, it's going to be right there. It locks right in.
Yeah, it goes right up against your seam.
Yep, it locks right into that seam. I mean, it is like crazy. And then you can cut. It does not move. That does not move. And you can just trim it around, flip this thing, you know.
And you should have a rotating mat.
Yeah,
I
when
mean,
you're
if
trying
you really,
to do this.
if you really are going to get into piecing and quilting,
Yes.
oh my gosh.
Yeah, because
What a
the thing is, if you're like this and you're cutting it on your table, which you can do, I mean, you can.
You can.
Say we're going for a 4.5 inch, whatever. And then when you cut this, you need to pick it up and trim, or you need to walk around the other side of your table if you can do that, and trim this, as opposed to just doing this.
Right.
And then you're not touching the block.
Right.
You're not lifting it up. A lot of times on these blocks,
It'll
it'll have bias, but the
Yeah.
bias is in here at this point. But some of these blocks, you know, you take a square and then you're sewing and sewing, and then you're trimming this way, and you know, you can get 8 half square triangles out of one. So you always want to make them a little bit bigger.
Always bigger.
Always. Or use your scant 1/4 inch, and then you need to trim it down. Yeah, see, the one thing with this ruler, though, see this? If I were to trim it here, and that's in there, that's not on that point. You have to make sure you get it right.
Get it the right way.
And they've done it 1 inch and 1 inch from both sides, so you can go either way. That just has to be on the triangle. But you get used to that. Once you know what to look for, and it becomes second nature, and you start using, but these block locks.
Yeah, they're really good rulers.
I do. I have the long rectangles for the triangles. I have those. I have the flying geese. I mean, I went crazy because I just love these.
Yeah, you just sold me.
They're really, they are really good.
Crazy good. Yeah.
Well, and half square triangles, I mean, are fun. And the yellow brick road one, which was very beginner friendly. Here's another one that they did, Atkins Designs, and has half square triangles.
Now, are those flying geese?
No, they're half squares.
Just half squares. Oh, that's good. That's good for beginners, because those flying geese can be tricky. They're flying geese. Okay. Because the locks. Oh, they are?
No, they're
flying geese.
They're flying geese.
Yeah.
I
Well,
lied.
they're a little bit different, though, because they're longer.
Well, yeah.
So it's almost like you... Yeah.
And it is... And the nice thing about this pattern, because it looks like you have...
Let's look at it close up.
Looks like you have... It is flying geese.
Yeah, and what they do is they have this ruler, and their ruler...
Well, the lock... Yeah, the rulers.
Yeah, the block lock.
Right.
And so it's the ruler, you know, it's like this. Say you're making 3 by 6 or something, the finished size. This little groove, will come up, and then it comes down this way. And then where that flying geese is, I mean, you just lay it right in there, and right where that groove is, it comes right up to that point, and you just trim that block. It is really nice.
But what's nice about this pattern is it's made bigger, so you're not losing your points, and you are going to start. You're going to cut down with your.
That's really
which
nice.
is really nice. They have you make it bigger, and then you're going to cut your block down. Is this a 9.5? I thought this was.
Yeah.
You cut it down. I thought these were 9.5. I'm losing it, but I have a smaller. I brought the wrong ruler. Oh well. Anyway, but you cut it. It's made bigger, and you cut it down, so you're not going to lose your points. Is what I'm saying on this pattern, which is really nice because a lot of times your points are going to come right to your seams. Mm-hmm. So this is another one that's really,
you don't want to cut your points off.
Yeah,
because then you're going, why are my points? Why does it not come up?
Right.
I mean, why are my points not there? Do we have any questions at all?
Nope. We just got some good mornings.
Oh, okay.
That's good. So this is a fun one too.
Yes.
And it's not as difficult as it looks. And like I said, these patterns are written very, very well.
That's a good
That's
thing.
a good one.
We really like that. Let me see. What's another question? Oh, difficult kits.
Well, I brought one. I didn't bring the pattern, but this was a kit I bought from Jeannie, and it is all half square triangles. Okay.
And
this off. And after I was done with this, I was tired of half square triangles for a while.
I know some blocks you get to the point you
Because
go,
this
never
is-
again, until
this
you
is
don't do it for a
all-
while, and then you say,
This
yeah.
is all half square triangles.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's the whole thing is half square
And
triangles.
it looks like a star, though, because you can't see, because of the background fabric.
Right.
And even though there's a seam there,
Right.
you can't see it. So your eye will get rid of that seam when you're looking at the
Right.
overall pattern.
I mean, and then you
it's
have
really nice.
You have the bigger stars, and these are all half square triangles. You can see this. See
Oh,
one-
yeah, in the purple and
in the-
blue, there's 4 of them.
Yeah, there's
Wow.
4 half square triangles here. This is a half square triangle, half square triangle, half square triangle. It is all half square triangles.
Wow.
So
Did you, and you had to match them all up, though, in
Yes.
the center. So here, this is where you really want to make sure that
Yes.
your half square triangles
yeah.
are right on point, because
Yes.
if you trim
Well, and you can
that,
see
off.
I cut off a point here. I know. I know. You know,
okay,
it's,
but we don't care about the quilt police.
I know.
Who cares?
I mean, I don't anymore.
cares?
I used to be crazy about it, but this
Yeah,
is
but-
all half square triangles, and it's a big quilt. So.
Yeah. So and you can cut them off if you don't cut that right on that point where
You're
the
gonna
point
lose the
comes
point.
right to the end like
Yeah,
that.
you'll lose it.
So if say you sew it
Yep.
and it's like that,
Yeah.
you
You're
won't
good.
have a good point.
No.
You just won't. You cannot do it.
Yeah.
They have to be down to that side.
Yep.
I mean, it has to come all the way down to the end,
Yeah.
right into that
That's
point.
where it's really important to square up your half square triangles and try and get them
Yes.
to match
Yes.
every seam.
Yes.
So-
That's why if I
Yeah.
did that, wouldn't you use a block lock ruler on this? I mean, I
would-
sound
I
like I'm trying
didn't.
to sell the block locks, but I
didn't.
really am
used,
not.
I used a 2.5 inch
Yeah.
quilters select to square up all these.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
the bigger one to square
And you
up
can do
these.
that,
And
but
you-
you'll find that
Yeah.
they'll be off a little bit.
yeah, they are.
If they're
and
off,
I
so
have,
you're doing a scant 1/4 inch and all this on some. And,
I have
and then
I did
squaring
miss
them
some.
up.
I missed some points, but
yeah.
but I don't hurt myself anymore.
No, we're like, okay, that's okay.
Yeah.
It looks good. You
It's
go like this. Oh, it looks good.
Well, I always when I used to teach, I used to say if you are going by on a galloping horse and you can't see
Right.
it, then you're okay.
Yeah, right. You're good.
Yeah,
I
so-
love that.
It's a great
Yes.
little song.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so getting back to difficult kits. The reason I put the difficult kits in is because let me tell you, when I get a kit, what I do first, I look at my kit, I pull out my pattern. I set my kit aside. I will literally
Read the pattern.
yes, in the morning, and I put it away till I'm fresh. Like in the morning, I don't have anything else going on. I have my cup of coffee, and I'm reading that pattern. I read it, and I read it all the way through.
Yeah.
And I make sure I see what fabrics are going with what. Why does this look like that? Are these half square triangles? Are they flying geese? What am I making? What do I need for it? And then when I finally start and get into it, I'll take my kit, and then I have my fabrics, and it tells you what fabrics are in that kit. Well, let me back up a step. First thing I do
Is you make sure the fabric's all there.
no. After I read everything in my kit, which you got to read it, please read. Even on your patterns.
Yeah, read your pattern.
Read through the pattern first so you know where you're going with it. So if you have any questions on it, you can ask somebody. If you don't have anybody to ask, take some scrap fabric, make a test block.
Right.
Because if you mess that up, you can go, oh my gosh, look at that's no good. Poof, throw that away. And then you won't be, ruining the fabric that's in the kit, because sometimes they give you
Just exactly.
amount to do.
Right.
And you can't even square the blocks up. You have no room.
Right.
But anyway, so what I do is I will go to the website where I got that kit and see if there's been any changes.
Oh, that's a good thing.
Yes, because a lot of times people will be making them, even though they have run through testers and stuff, there will be something else in that pattern that absolutely everybody missed, because a lot of our testers are experienced people.
Right.
And the people designing and making the patterns are experienced
And they
people.
just assume.
they assume that you know everything, and it's not even that they do assume it, but
They don't think.
you forget.
Yeah.
You forget. You just say, well,
Yeah.
of course you have to cut this because
Right.
to get to this step, you got to do that step. And I get that way myself because I've made so many quilts.
Right.
You don't even think about what you're doing. You're
No.
just doing it and you move along and I'll be with my sister or one of my friends and they're going, well, what'd you do?
Yeah.
Mine, it doesn't look like that. And I'm going, oh my gosh, I totally left that out. So there might be steps,
Right.
on the website or something that tells you, or there may be an error in the pattern.
Right.
They may have, written 2.5 by 3.5 inch blocks and they're really 3.5 by 3.5. So they can give you the corrections in there. Then what I do is I take out my patterns.
More water?
I'll take out my patterns again. And this is what I do because I don't want to ruin my pattern, but I make a copy of the page with all the fabrics. And then I mark all my fabrics. This is my fabric A. This is my fabric B. This is my fabric C. And I measure everything. If I need 1/8 of a yard of this, if I need 3/8 of a yard of that, 7/8, if I need 2.5 of this, everything should be in that kit.
Right.
Especially if it's
Right.
I mean, you know how it is. When you go to the store, to the shows
I
and
know,
stuff, and
I
you
have-
go,
I have
I'm going to make
kits."
that. 4 or 5, okay,
Yeah.
10 or 12 years later, and you go, you're going through your stuff, and it's
Yeah.
like Christmas, because
And then
go,
you don't
I
have
forgot
any.
all about
And then
that.
if you make a mistake, they've probably discontinued the fabric.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah, within the next year. Good luck
Yes.
finding that fabric.
Right.
So anyway, then if something's different and you don't have it, you can always go to your stash, switch out that fabric with something that goes
Right.
with everything, and you'll still have it.
Right.
That's the difficulty that I found really in kits.
Right.
Is that you need to read it, you need to make sure you have all your fabric, and you need to make sure there has not been any
Right.
changes to that pattern.
Well,
And that's any pattern, not just
any
a
pattern.
kit.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's why a lot of times, like we say, we go to the same patterns a lot
Yes.
of times over and over because they're written very well.
Yes.
And
yes.
also I don't know, and Jeannie carries these, and I don't know if you guys have done the cut loose patterns. Cut loose is really fun, and
Yep.
this one's is the wonky log cabins, and they also Creative Grids has the wonky log cabin rulers, which are great. And I think these are pretty much beginner or maybe intermediate beginner.
Yeah. How did you learn to do this? Was it so easy that you could just use this ruler?
It just use the ruler, and
because
they
don't
come-
they come with a
it
sheet?
comes with a sheet.
Yes,
the ruler
it
comes with
tells
a
you.
sheet to how to do it, but it's super fun. Here's the table runner. Gosh, it goes so fast.
Look how cute.
So it's just,
It's all spring or fall. I love these colors.
I know, and sunflowers are my favorite anyway.
I love it.
But this went really fast.
Yeah, look, it's only 4 blocks.
Yeah, it's 4 blocks, and
Yeah.
that's fun for patterns, and it doesn't take a lot of fabric for a table runner, and it's fun to put a quilt together too. I just did
And you get to look at it all the time when you got it on there.
and then
I
I just
love my table
and
runners.
then the quilt is just done. That's my 4th of July quilt.
I
So-
have this stuff. I'm doing a 4th of July quilt with this fabric.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah,
and
it's just
I
fun.
got
It's
it
not
a
real.
few years ago.
Yeah, I bought this fabric from Jeannie.
I did too. I got the
I
kit
know.
from Jeannie.
And then this is just grunge. Grunge is my favorite fabric of all time. So, but
I love that too.
that's
goes with anything.
that would be that's a little bit more advanced than a strip piece quilt, but it's fun to do. But these cut loose, and Jeannie carries a lot of the cut loose patterns. Oh my gosh!
Well, they used
They're
to
fun.
say the easiest patterns and the most beginner-friendly patterns, and to this day, people still teach them as beginners, is the log cabin.
Yeah,
This is
log
wonky.
This
log
is wonky,
cabin.
but log cabin was my very first quilt
Yep.
that I made back
Yep.
in 1978.
Wow.
I know.
My goodness.
Yeah, I don't have that
I know.
one.
I was
gave it away.
mid-'80s, so you've been quilting.
I've
even
been quilting
longer.
a long time.
Wow.
And
But mine was too, and it was a heart. to where it comes.
Yeah.
It looks like
The
a heart, and
yeah,
I still have that.
It's a really good. But these, I mean, patterns have gotten expensive. But the cut loose patterns now, I think, are like $3 or $4. They're $4, which is great for a pattern. I mean,
and the instructions are very, very easy.
The instructions are very good on those. So those.
Yep.
That would be my advice if you want, people starting out, is something that's strip pieced, and cut loose patterns are great.
Let me see. What else do I have?
I mean, you've got you've got more patterns that are a little bit more difficult, which is fun.
Yeah. Well, I have this
books.
pattern. Okay, I have this pattern, and I have this quilt. I love this quilt. It's on the back of my chair at my house. I love this quilt.
See, those are good quilts to have.
Yeah, it's a no. And this pattern was so easy. I don't even know who it's by. Who is it by? Wendy Shepherd. And it's a no.
Isn't it cute?
Look, I don't know. Should I hold it up? Can you see it? See, they're just gnomes. I don't know. Some people do not like gnomes.
I don't like gnomes.
I know. I'm not. I like gnomes. But this, all it is strips, and they just got smaller.
Smaller as
so
it went
I
up.
was able to chain piece, and this has, what is there for, 12 blocks? I was able to just chain piece all of these,
yeah.
And it went super, super fast.
Yeah, it's cute though.
And it's all crunchy because
it's
I've
all
been
washed in it. I know. I
love this quilt.
Wash your quilts all the time and
Yes.
have them fun. So.
And I don't pre-wash my fabric, and I
Me
didn't
either.
pre-wash that.
I never
So, and this was very, very, like where on the back where it says the fabric
do. Oh, it's all
requirement.
just laid out.
Yeah, this is where, and it doesn't say A, B, and C, but I took my blue, which is 4.5, that was a back, whatever, and that was A, and then B and C. I just did it myself, so I had everything in a big pile, and it was really, really fast and easy quilt to do. And then I have this quilt, which was kind of like yours, but this was super. I hope this might. Okay, I apologize if there's. I have this on the back of my couch, but my dogs always get on it.
It's okay. Dogs need quilts.
Dogs need quilts too. So, but this is like it's anyway. So what I did is it was like a big 4-patch.
Oh yeah, and you've just
And
stripped.
then this is just strips. It was my scrap fabric. I just stuck it together, and then I put the blocks with it. That was one big block. And then I just did strips all around for the binding, and then I threw a block in there. So this is not even a pattern.
No, you just
all.
no, and that's what I'm saying. It's amazing what you can do with scraps.
Right. And
Because-
my dogs love it.
Well, and we all have. I mean, those of us that have done this for a long time have. Oh my gosh, I have a lot of scraps.
Yes.
I have.
Like how many pounds?
Oh,
They
well,
always go by pounds.
I
Millions. No.
I don't save anything
Not
smaller
anymore, I
anymore
don't.
than like a 3x6. If it's smaller than 3x6,
mine's like
I
10 by
toss it.
10. I don't even care. And now I'm at the point where I'm going to just buy kits. And then if there's
Well,
anything
kits
left
are
out of
great.
my kits, it's gone. I'm
Well-
not saving it.
I make myself pull from stash
Yeah.
every time, but I'm in my 70s and I really don't know that I'll finish it all. I know I won't.
There's just
My
tons.
poor family. So.
Yeah.
Anybody have any questions or anything on patterns?
No,
Okay.
no questions. Everybody's just.
We must be
Good,
very
listening.
thorough.
Yes.
We're very good.
Okay, so then do you have anything else?
No, I'm
okay,
good.
so we can. I wanted to show how to properly. There was the question how to properly square up a quilt.
Yeah,
I think, in my humble opinion, if your blocks are square,
your quilt's going to be okay.
yes.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes. So what I did is I wanted to show you how to square up a block. And oh my gosh, where'd my block go?
We're showing it for the binding example. What were we putting that around?
Okay.
Okay, maybe not.
Oh, there
maybe
it is.
I'll have
It's
to-
on the floor.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, we lost it.
Okay. There's a little bit of thread. Imagine some thread here. Okay, so I made this block, just a 4-patch, and it's you can tell it's off. Okay, we've got this ruler here. So it's like 8.5 by 7 something. So what I want to do is I want to make this block a 7-inch square. So what we're going to do is when you square up a block and you have a square up ruler, which this is a Creative Grids, Jeannie sells these, and they have like little sticky stuff on the back. But you know, what we're going to do is we are going to square up from the center out. We're not going to just go, I want this to be 7-inch square. So here is my 7. If I did that and I took 7-inch, can we get closer or can you see it? So here's 7-inch. Look at our block. Our block would, unless you're going for that look, that's fine. But if we want this all squared up, so you look at I want 7-inch. So my finished size will be 6.5 inch in my quilt. So that means that's because we're putting our 1/4-inch seam allowance all the way around it. So we're going to go, what's half of 7-inch, Jeannie?
Gail?
Gail. I was just thinking of Jeannie. Oh my God. Okay.
That's okay.
Happens more and more the older I get. No.
That's okay.
Gail.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
What's half a 7-inch?
It would be 3 3/4.
3.5.
3.5.
You're right.
Yeah, really, 3.5. Oh.
Okay, so the 3.5 mark is where we're going to look for in the center.
Yeah.
Because 3.5 this way and 3.5 that way will equal 7, what we're looking for. So on this ruler, the 3.5 mark is right in that center.
Yep.
Okay, so we're going to look, okay, I've got enough down here. I can trim, fine. My block is big enough. I have enough overage to trim it. We don't have to have a rotary cutter, do we?
Yeah.
Okay, so she's going to get us a rotary cutter. So what I do also is I look this way. There's a line on this ruler, and you're going to make sure it goes the half inch right on that seam. Thank you. And then the half little bit, I might have to move it there. And then this line goes this way. So I know my block is square. So we're going to just trim that. And this is why it's really nice to have this.
A rotating mat.
Okay. So the first cut. Oh. This is not that great of a blade. Push. Okay. Yeah, this is...
Can we get you another one?
No, just saw it off.
No,
okay.
That's been cutting kit.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I took it straight from Laura. I was like,
okay. This. Poor Lori. Look, it has her name on. She needs a new blade. Jeannie, she needs a new blade. So anyway, now we know that this part of this block is square.
Right.
You can't do anything about it. Once you cut that, you cut it. Don't go, I messed. No. So what we're going to do is now you're going to just turn the ruler. We know this side is right. So now we're going to come over to the 7 by 7. And this all now is going to be, it is what it is. It's landing where it's landing. You're hoping your 3.5 is right there
in the center.
So you're going to check it. Yeah, and I pulled it when
it's pretty
That's
close.
why, yeah, but it's pretty close. So now you can come over here and you see it's all, I have
even.
things to cut. So now we can cut this. There you go. And now we have...
It's square.
It's squared up perfectly, yes. So that's what you want to do. You always want to take your ruler, and if we had a 9.5 inch square, there's the center's going to be 4 3/4.
Yeah.
So, and they have these little lines on this ruler. It goes every 1/4 inch. So you can see exactly where you are, but I've used this line because so you can see from this end to that end. And if we have it on the straight,
It looks good to me.
Straight line here, straight line there, and this goes right to that corner. So everything, this block is square.
So and if your blocks are square, like you said, and you're using your quarter-inch seam, your quilt's going to be square, pretty much. Yeah, I think
because someone mentioned about blocking a quilt, and I know, like in needlework, and you're working with linen and all that stuff, and you do block those because it gets off. You can have like a square, but it kind of ends up like this, and then you block it. You get it wet a little bit, and then you pull it down. And then you secure it like with pins all the way around. And some people I've heard before, they did that with a quilt. No, they did it with a quilt. Why would you do that with a quilt?
I don't.
A quilt is way too big.
Yeah,
and so you have to do it at the block stage.
I agree. And if you measure your borders like Michelle told you to do before,
please measure your borders.
It'll also square it up too.
Yeah, because if you have that one big old wavy border, it's because you've stretched the fabric on your border. Somehow, it's because your feed dogs pull. The top doesn't, and if there's a whole bunch of variants.
Since she's a long armor, she really wants you. If you give her your quilts, she wants them square. Thank you.
It would be nice. Well, we can quilt some of that out.
But not much.
Yeah.
I mean, not a lot.
There's limits.
There's limits, yeah.
Yeah, there's limits.
It out, but, So, no questions, huh?
No.
Wow.
Everybody's just intently listening.
Good.
Okay.
So, next time, what are we doing?
I thought we would talk about fabrics.
Okay, cool.
What to do with your fabrics now that we've talked about choosing fabric colors.
Right.
And now we've talked about the patterns.
Right.
Now let's talk about pre-washing. The advantage or disadvantage to pre-wash or not? Ooh, that's like the big question, isn't it?
Yeah. So
everyone's got their opinion on it. Do what you like.
Yeah, really.
But there are different outcomes for each.
Right. And we'll talk all about fabrics and
then stabilizer. Before cutting. Stabilizers for t-shirts.
T-shirt quilts.
Yes. I don't know that I have a t-shirt quilt to bring to show.
So. Anyway, but that would be fun.
Yeah, and if you do use starch, what kind of starch? So we'll go over starches.
Right.
Terrell Magic.
Best press.
Yeah.
Water.
And just starch, water, have the stuff from the store.
Yeah.
To steam or not.
Right.
To starch or not.
So,
So
that's so if you guys have any questions about, what you want to know about fabrics as far as how to prepare them and what to do before they go into your quilt or whatever. So just let us know.
That'll be a nice topic.
Yeah.
Boy, we can talk a lot on that too.
Yeah.
That'll do. Yeah, that would be really good.
Okay.
Well, if there's no questions, and thank you so much for joining us today. We really do appreciate it. If you guys do have any questions about anything that we've said, you can leave comments and we can check those.
And some of these patterns that we talked about, I know Jeannie ordered some. I know she ordered the Yellow Brick Road one. So, and I think she said she might even put a special on them. So, and the different rulers and stuff. So, all you have to do is ask Jeannie, and I know she can probably get it for you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.